So the second strand of my coming to Rumi involves a precognitive dream that I had in May the 2nd, 1977. In the dream, I was sleeping out on a bluff above the Tennessee River, right where I grew up, though I never slept out there on that bluff. But I was sleeping there, and I woke up in the dream. And I was still asleep, but I was lucid. I was in a waking state inside the dream. And this ball of light came off the river in Williams Island and came over and clarified above me. And there was a man sitting inside the ball of light. He had a white scarf over his head, and he raised his head and he said, "I love you." And I said, "I love you too." I don't know what would have happened in my life if I hadn't said that. But it was not even a decision I made. It was just, it just responded that way. I don't think I said it out loud. I think it was something telepathic going on between us. And that's the end of the dream, except for the whole landscape felt drenched with dew, very natural wetness. And the wet was, I understood it to be love. So it felt like the whole world was full of love. A year and a half later, I met this man who was in the dream. His name was Bawa Muhyiddin. And you can believe this or not, you know, but I don't have a choice because it happened to me. And I don't know whether you're supposed to tell these kind of things or not, but I've told it so many times now that I might as well tell it again. My friend Milner Ball was teaching in the law school at Rutgers Camden, right outside of Philadelphia, and for some reason or other, I sent him some of these rephrasings of Rumi, and he, for some weird reason, read them to his torts class in the law school, and a man came up named Jonathan Granoff and said, "Who did those poems?" And so he gave Jonathan my address. And Jonathan wrote to me these long letters, wonderful letters, and he said, "You should come up to Philadelphia and meet this teacher." And so in September of '78, I went up to Philadelphia and walked into the room and met this man who was in the dream. And of course, there's no way I can prove that. I was the only one in the dream, or he and I were the only ones that knew it. But he used to come to me in dreams and teach me things. And I would go back up to Philadelphia. I was with him for 9 years until his death. I would start telling a dream to him, you know, and he says, "You don't need to tell me the dream. I was there," you know. So there are people who are on different levels of awareness and consciousness. I can't, of course, travel in dream state to visit somebody, but he did that with me. And I don't know how it was done. One time he taught me, he says, he was teaching me in the dream to take tiny little sips, just tiny sips of water. And I said, "What does that mean?" He says, "You want to be wise too quickly. You know, just take a little bit of wisdom, take sips of wisdom, and then assimilate that. Don't try to gulp it down."